Just to stay in the loop, I've been like traveling like crazy, dude. I haven't been home in like months. But just to stay in the loop, I want to make a real quick video about probably the biggest fight of my career as a fan. Like I said, I went to Bo Holyfield too, and that was awesome. But I didn't really have a horse in the race. I love boxing, but I'm a huge, huge, huge Ward fan, and I have been for well over a decade. So I'm real excited about this fight. I give Kovalev all the credit in the world. That last fight he did, I did a video afterwards, laughing, saying he sucked because his performance wasn't that good. But, I jumped the gun on that. I was exaggerating. The guy doesn't suck. He's the best light heavyweight in the world right now. Well, I mean, deep down, I think Andre Ward is, but he doesn't deserve that title. But, by no means is Kovalev a blowover. Guy's fucking nasty. He's sick. He's awesome. But I'm telling you, man, the guy has flaws. And, the lines right now, I just saw that they opened at, minus 110, minus 110. This is a true 50-50 fight. A true 50-50 blockbuster fight. This is the biggest fight, we've had in years, in my opinion. So I'll be doing a series of breakdown videos. I don't have any of my editing equipment. I'm doing this on a phone right now. But I just watched a few of Kovalev's fights again. I'm telling you, man, I want to point out some of this guy's weaknesses. Now, a lot of people are saying, who knows what Ward has left? Yeah, Ward was great 4 or 5 years ago, but, who knows what he has left? And you know what? They're right. Maybe Ward is a step behind. Maybe Ward, decided, fuck it. Before I get exposed by someone, let me go fight a big fight so I can make some money. Who knows? Because, dude, even if you lose even up to a half a second in boxing, in a serious fight, you could be fucked. Especially a fight like this. Now, Kovalev is great, but a lot of the reason why he's great is because of fear, okay? He does not have fast hand speed. He doesn't. And if you watch his fight, you always hear the term, go first, go first. And, it's easier said than done. But on Kovalev, if you go first, you are going to have major success. But no one does it because they're so terrified of his huge hands. You know what I mean? They're so terrified of going first over his hand and him clocking you. The man is very, very vanilla in his approach. And when I say vanilla, I don't mean he's like, he stinks at what he does. He's just very, very limited on offense. He is a basic, come forward, seek and destroy, three-punch fighter. And that's not like putting him down at all because he's great at that. He's great at what he does. And he's also great. These are the two best fighters at controlling the distance. And controlling the distance is like huge. It has a lot to do with footwork. It could be the number one thing in boxing. Because, when you want to get your punch off right where you want to get it off and you're right at the distance, you're going to do the most damage, A short arm punch or a long punch, like I said before, Andre Ward likes to sit on that cliff where he suckers the guy into throwing his hardest punch, and Andre Ward just moves back a little, and the guy misses him by, an inch. And you know how much that takes out of the dude. And Ward is great at that. Ward's great at setting that trap to getting the guy to throw a punch, and Ward just backs up a little. It's even like a pull. He doesn't even really do it. So he'll do it with his feet, but sometimes he'll just pull with his back. And he has great success from that. But if he's going to do that with Kovalev, he better be very, very careful. Because Kovalev is one of the best at punching and coming forward when he punches. Okay? So I think if Andre Ward tries that on the cliff stuff, which he's great at with Kovalev, he's going to be in trouble. Because Kovalev, even if he misses on the first punch, he's great at lunging. I mean, he's just great at it, especially for a guy his size. The way Ward's going to have to beat him, like I said, this dude is a seek and destroy, pretty much vanilla offensive fighter. But when he seeks and destroys you, he does it very well and does it very good. He knows how to conserve punches. The big knock on him, I always thought was like, well, let's get him into the later rounds and see what happens. And, his last, the Hopkins fight and that last fight, he's not losing power in the later rounds. Most guys lose power in the later rounds, and Kovalev just seems like he's a machine cranked all the way up. So Ward's best bet is going to be go side to side, side to side, side to side, because Kovalev, he throws those straight punches, right, which are devastating. He gets everything into him. But when he's going to have to start throwing across his body, that's going to take 30, 40, sometimes even 50% of his power away, okay? And it's going to fuck him all up. And, people say, I don't really think Kovalev has the best chin. They're going to go, well, how do you know? When did he ever get his ass kicked? When was he ever in trouble? When did he ever have to, fight huge punches off? He hasn't. But if you'll notice, when he does get rocked, he stops and he thinks. You can look at it in his eye. He's not a guy that can get hit and come back with great counters and everything. I really don't think in that sense Kovalev is a trade for trade warrior. Because if you trade for trade with Kovalev, you're fucked. Even if Andre Ward does, he's fucked. Okay? So, Andre Ward, don't lure him in like you do with other fighters to get him on the cliff because he can lunge forward better than everybody. Okay? You'll also notice that Kovalev doesn't like to fight inside, doesn't like to move in for the kill. How many times have you seen him have a guy in on the ropes and he doesn't move in for those fucking body hooks? He'll just keep his distance, keep his distance. He's great at keeping his distance and spacing, okay? Which leads me to believe that Andre Ward, who is one of the most underrated defensive fighters, most underrated infighters, I'm sorry, I don't mean defensive fighters, infighters, I think of all time. Underrated, okay? So the key here is going to be Andre Ward getting inside with Kovalev. And I know a lot of you laugh at that, saying, oh, Kovalev's much bigger than Ward. What's he going to do inside? I'm telling you, Kovalev does not like to fight inside. He does not like to trade those short blows, those side hooks. He does not like to trade them inside. And Ward has great inside defense, okay? And if he can turn that fight into an inside fight, like he did, with Frost, he dominated him inside. I mean, in all aspects, by far, pure boxing, pure sweet science, Andre Ward is better. He has better speed. He has a better jab. You think Kovalev has a better... Yeah, Kovalev has a devastating jab. This isn't even a jab. It's 2 power punches. Kovalev does what I like to call a stick shot a lot. And it's not something you want to teach a kid because it's all... A lot of his punches are just coming from his arms. A lot of them, he's not even putting his body into it. The technique is all wrong. However, it works great for him, Sometimes your technique can be all wrong, but it works great for you. So fuck if the technique's wrong. This is my technique, and that's Kovalev, His stick shots come both ways, and they come straight and they come hard, okay? But if Ward can get him inside, those stick shots will be shortened up by 30%, which, and it won't be so devastating. And Ward can duck. Ward can Ward puts his head on your chest where... you can't see, you don't know, and Ward naturally knows. He knows where your shoulder movement is and everything. And I don't know, man. I just cannot see this guy outboxing Andre Ward 7 out of 12 rounds. How can anybody see that? I think Andre Ward is such a superior boxer than Kovalev. And it's taken nothing away from Kovalev. The guy is a super badass, okay? Kovalev cannot win this fight on points. Do we all agree with that? I mean, really, just being honest, can we agree with that? Okay? He can't do it. There's no way he's going to outbox a world-class boxer like Andre Ward. Andre Ward's the whole package. He's the best fighter in the game, okay? I don't count these little 112 fucking guys. I don't give a shit about that. You guys can, talk your 112, 118 pounders all you want. I don't pay attention to that nonsense, okay? I'm talking about men fighting, not dudes that I could beat the shit out of. Roman Gonzalez, I would fucking kill him. If me and him ever met up in a bar, I would fucking throw that guy through a plate glass window. His punches would do nothing to me. And my punch would fucking knock him silly, okay? Because he's a little man. He's great, but I just don't even follow those dudes. So yeah, this fight's going to come down to that. Now, again, who knows, man? Everybody says, oh, Ward's been cherry picking. He's only fought, this certain amount of times and this certain amount of years. A lot of that shit, what, you think I like that? No, of course I don't like a lot of it. But what am I supposed to do? I'm a fan of his. Am I supposed to fucking be like, oh, fuck that, I hate him now? No, I like him. He's a fan. He's got his reasons. He's had his injuries. He gets such a bad rap from these dudes that just make up lies. That he's like a scumbag. He's greedy. He's hard to deal with. None of that is true, okay? And I'm a guy that you can say that has been very, very close inside the Ward camp before. I know him. I know the people. It's just the farthest thing from the truth, right? So, yeah, I'm going to make a breakdown video of this and everything, but I don't know. Like I said, if Kovalev can win, it's because Ward's lost a step, and he's fooling us, and he's cashing out for a payday, and, he's slowed down a step, and, maybe Kovalev can knock him out. But if it's the best Andre Ward and the best Sergey Kovalev, fellas, I don't even think that Kovalev has a chance. Not even a puncher's chance. Okay, so I don't know. Just a short, quick video talk about that. Kovalev's flaws. Like I said, man, he's a one-dimensional fighter. You know, that's it. You know, he's got the jab, cross hook. That's it. You know, three-punch fighter, straightforward fighter. However, he's a great three-punch fighter, straightforward fighter. The key to this fight is early rounds. Okay, and I think Ward will win those because the first round counts just as much as the 12th round. Beat him to that punch. You know, hit him over his jab. Beat him right away. You know, beat him to the punch, and he's going to be like, whoa, whoa. Because like I said, he doesn't have the instinct where he counterpunches as soon as he gets hit. He regroups, okay? The man's not a great counterpuncher. You know, or he hasn't had to be because we haven't seen it yet. But people are just so afraid, they just set up and wait to see what Kovalev's going to do because they're so afraid of his power, okay? Don't be afraid of his power. Beat him to the punch. Take him inside. Put your head on his fucking chest and just start working those hooks. And that's what I think Ward will do. And then he'll be king of the world. How many times, you know, in the past years have you heard pundits, you know, all kinds of dudes whose names carry, you know, whose opinion carries a lot of weight, guys like Manny Stewart and everything, say that, you know, Andre Ward is amazing. He's a complete package. You know, he's the best fighter in the game. How many times have you heard that from anybody? The guy gets mad respect from the whole boxing world. How many times have you heard people say that, you know, Sergey Kovalev is one of the best fighters in the game, pound for pound? He's not, man. He's great at what he does in his division. But by any means, he's not a great boxer. He's a great boxer for 175. But a pound for pound boxer, I'm not so sure. I'm not taking nothing away from Kovalev. The dude is a certified motherfucking badass. And Ward definitely has his work cut out for him. Ward definitely can lose his fight. And I'll still be a Ward fan, even if he gets knocked out in the second round. As long as he don't quit, as long as he's not there to pick up a paycheck, I'm always going to be a Ward fan. Unlike you bandwagon jumpers. You know, if Ward just ended up beating the shit out of Kovalev, all you'd hear was excuses and everybody would jump off the Kovalev train. That's not the case with me and Ward. I'm a fan of my fighters, okay? Boxing to me is, you know, it's like any other sport. There's good guys, there's villains. It's what makes it fun, okay? Well, right now, Kovalev's the villain to me because Andre Ward, I'm a fan. So if you don't like that, fuck you, dude.